So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our video of planets through Navamsa. And today we're going to be covering Sun in the 9th house of your D9 Navamsa chart. And what happens when Sun is in the 9th house in your D9 Navamsa, which is one of the most important charts in Vedic astrology, which kind of shows the strength of your planets, shows the second half of your life, shows your fortune, shows your married life, obviously, most importantly. So very, very important chart in Vedic astrology. And if you do not know, if you have Sun in the 9th house of your Navamsa, or what your other planetary placements are in the birth chart and all the astrological details for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, consultations, and link to my academy, Maga Vedic Astrology Academy. So let's start with Sun in the 9th house of Navamsa. So 9th house of Navamsa represents the religious and spiritual beliefs that you develop in the second half of life and especially after marriage. It represents the pilgrimage and the long distance travel you may take after marriage. It represents pretty much, and this is very important, it represents the bhagya, meaning the fortune, the luck of the marriage. So it's quite similar to the birth chart, but again, it has its own implications. So when Sun is there, Sun, as you know, is representation of our soul, representation. It's a very royal planet. It represents our lineage, our fathers, authorities. So in Navamsa, in the 9th house, the very most important thing that a person deals with here is that one has to take a leadership role in some religious organization or some religious activity in their life. They're going to have to become Surya themselves. And especially one's reputation after marriage, or especially in the second half of life, one's reputation increases. One finds respect in society. And Sun naturally inclines a person towards following their paternal lineage's Ishtadevta, or you can say whatever the lineage followed, you tend to find interest in it automatically. Like, for example, let's say your father, your grandfather have no idea about the actual, the true Devata of the lineage and what they worship. But suddenly, in your late 30s, you started worshipping, or you love reading about Kartikeya. So you want to now worship Kartikeya. And this is what happens with Sun. Sun here can take a person into any kind of a system that you may not be aware of. It can take you into Kriya. It can take you into, Vivekananda lineage. It can make you suddenly a Bhakt of Shiva, or suddenly you come across Vishnu. So it kind of activates the fortune of the person's divinity. And the other thing we notice with this Sun is that a person usually finds it hard to deal with the elder sibling and situations related to the elder sibling. Person usually also finds very hard times dealing with large organizations and being in a large organization. Usually they feel like that people in those places may attack your ego, may try to put you down. But one of the places that this Sun does extremely well is that you start learning ancient knowledge, classical literature. What happens is, like, for example, let's say if you're a Christian, you've never studied the Bible, you've never, studied the Old Testament or the New Testament. And with this, suddenly you get interested in that. You want to know, what are these quotes, what are these saying, what is it that people are going so gung-ho about? What is the message of Christ? I want to understand that. Or if, let's say, you're a Hindu, then you want to go and study the Vedantic knowledge, the Puranas. You get interested in that because that's where you find the light with Sun in the 9th house. But overall, this is a placement that really sets a tone of your dharma. That's the thing. It is the tone of the dharma. It is the light of the dharma. Marriage, partnerships, kind of invoke your divinity and the path of the divinity. Now, of course, depending upon the sign that sun is in, what kind of aspects and conjunction it receives, you may have a complete opposite reaction to what I'm saying. But there will be a reaction. That's the thing. There will be a reaction to this particular domain, either on a positive side or a negative side. Usually it can be neutral as well. And that's where the aspects and conjunctions comes into play. Like especially if you have Ketu with Sun in the 9th house, one will feel rejected. Like especially Saturn and Ketu, if they're with the Sun, one will feel rejected through religious organization, and for that one will disavow religion, organized religion, and will only want to take on open divinity, open spirituality, worldly views on spiritualism. So you see how with one planet, it can completely change the situation. If Mars is with Sun, oh my goodness, you're looking at a person who can even have a fatalistic belief about whatever, whether they believe in Hinduism, they believe in Kartikeya, they believe in Christianity, that's it. This is what it is. This is what people need to know and understand. A person can become that. Does that mean that they're right? Absolutely not. It's just that the planetary combination makes them think of the world like it's on their feet. And what they know and what they have learned from their group of people, that is the number one knowledge. Everything else is just, second grade, third grade knowledge. So you want to be careful of, what planets are impacting Sun or any other planet in the 9th house. Okay? So anyway, guys, this was my analysis of Sun in the 9th house of your D9 Navamsa chart. If you don't know my channel, subscribe below. And if you don't know where your Sun is placed, all the other astrological details, for that, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.